Hello out there in YouTube land, this is Shangrenard here, and I'm here to explore shapes and symbols in the Pokemon world. You're probably sitting there going, shapes? Yes, shapes! Like circles, squares, and spine-shaped bums. Sit back, relax, and I'll learn you the hard research work of Professor Bulba. Let us start off by taking a look at some shapes in the characters from the show. Take a look at Jessie. Ever wonder why she has such crazy long hair? Well, when she stands just right, it is meant to represent the loop of the capital R. Even the Rocket Grunts at one point decide to take on the pose in-game to represent the letter R for Team Rocket. You might be surprised to know that in the Pokemon Adventures manga, Rocket is an acronym standing for Raid on the City, Knockout, Evil Tusks. I'll let you debate amongst yourselves as to what exactly that means. Meowth the Motormouth Maniac has only 3 fingers in the anime, which has led to situations of its shape looking like a middle finger. Or worse, a giant! Oh, we're making this family friendly? Alright, guess we'll just blur that out and move on. Another antagonistic team in the franchise are the fashion freaks of Team Flare. Some have speculated that Team Flare's salute resembles a Nazi salute. If you put the two side by side, you'd see that they aren't quite the same. A Nazi salute is more like what Registeel is doing. Another interpretation is that Team Flare is actually making the sign of their insignia for the letter F for Flare. Again, another point of debate. I'll just continue to add fuel to the fire with Team Flare. The last human we will explore is Ash. Well, actually just his hat. From Season 1. Do you know what the symbol on his hat is? It was revealed in Season 1 that the symbol was in fact a stylized L, representing the Pokemon League. Personally, I always thought it was an L for loser. Now let's take a look at some Pokemon shapes. Obviously, the legendary Pokemon from X and Y represent the letter assigned to their game title, which is also the case for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Both Groudon and Kyogre gain a defined symbol once they undergo their primal revision. Groudon obtains an Omega insignias on the back of its hands, and Kyogre gains the Alpha insignias on its fins. Alpha and Omega are the first and last letters of the Greek alphabet. In some religious interpretations, the symbols are seen as the beginning and the end, which is rather neat when you think about it. If either of them win the battle, it would mean the beginning of a new life at the cost of ending another's. That's pretty deep for a kid's game. Pretty friggin' deep. And speaking of deep, let's segue right into the deep-sea Pokemon Huntail. Ever take a close look at that ugly thing's tail? If you look closely, you may recognize a familiar shape. The other choice of its evolution, Gorbis. The most suited Pokemon for this video on representing shapes and signs has to be Porygon. Porygon is a mixture between the words polygon and the art of origami. Porigami. Porygon is a pretty damn neat Pokemon and has some neat facts about it. For instance, Porygon is the only Pokemon so far that can evolve into its 3rd stage without leveling up once. All it needs is its required item and someone to trade with. According to its Stadium Pokédex, Porygon is a man-made Pokemon, but despite that being the case, it is still able to breed and hatch from an egg. And since we're on the topic of man-made constructions, let's take a look at the Ultra Ball. I bet you think that yellow symbol on the ball is a U, don't ya? Well, turns out it's actually a capital H for its Japanese name, Hyperball. So what we see is half of the H, making it seem like it's a U. 4 more Pokemon shapes to explore. Fraligator is famous for its Generation 3 sprite view from behind. It makes it look as if he is presenting his butt to us, which could be very distracting.
Oh crap! That Pokemon is a grass type and totally has the advantage over us. What should I do? Think, what did Professor Bulba say to do?
If you ever get into trouble, all you need to do is...
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Stupid sexy fralligator.
This was actually just poor design choice. These grooves were intended to represent part of his own extended thoracic vertebrae, aka his spine. Ever hear about how ducks are just wearing dog masks? What, no? Oh man, you have to see this. You will never look at ducks the same way again. And having said that, you will never look at Psyduck the same way again either. Psyduck's bill is actually just an Asian ghost. Yup. Cannot be unseen. Sableye is a pretty neat little creature. On its body it has gems which are actually meant to represent the games. If you look at his eyes, you will see that they are sapphires, and its chest has a ruby on it. If you get a shiny version of it, you can see emeralds embedded on its stomach and back. Last up is the male version of Pyro. You know how he has the yellow streaks among his red mane? Did you ever stop to wonder why that is? Or wonder what the shape is? No? Well, sometimes these things slip straight past us. The symbol that is on Pyro's mane is the same symbol that you see for the attack Fire Blast, and that symbol is actually kanji, Japanese syllabary, for those who don't know, for big or great. This symbol is used in the Japanese festival Gozen no Okuribi, which is a celebration of the dead. During the celebration, a giant fire blast like kanji is lit on a mountainside. Damn, Japanese culture is cool! If you want more facts like this, follow BulbaTube on its very own Facebook page. You can also add Professor Bulba to Google+ if you ever want to talk to him. Oh, and might as well subscribe if you haven't already. This has been Shangrenard, and I am dialing out, but before I go, let me leave you with something thought-provoking. What is the fat-free Pokémon? Butterfree.